What's up, athletes? Today we're going to look at how to cover double moves. I'm going to give you my top tips how to always cover double moves, never get beat, and to put yourself in the best position to make a play on the ball every time. So tip number one, definitely the most important, is eyes. You have to have great eye discipline. Eyes on the receiver's hip. And you cannot lose it just based off a solo move. So you can see after one move, DB's still looking at the receiver. He doesn't fall for the fake, gets hands on, and then continues and runs the route for him. Now a poor example of eye discipline. After one little move, eyes snap back to the quarterback. You lose sight of the receiver, and then get burned. Here's another example of poor eye discipline. On the break, receiver only took one step, and his eyes are already looking back for the ball. Quarterback is not going to throw you the ball, so you can't look after just one step when you're not in position. How to have proper eye discipline: have your eye on the receiver's hip and keep it there 3 steps into the route in case it is a double move. Then break back, locate the ball, and make a play. If you get beat a little bit, flip your head to the receiver, find him, sprint to him to close the distance, and then you can look back for the ball. So that's tip number one: work on your eye discipline. Stare at the receiver's hip until you're right with him, or until he takes 3 steps or more, because receivers, they often don't take 4 or more steps and then run a double move. It's always 3 or under. My number 2 tip is to make contact if you can. If he's within your frame, he's within your body, you could get 2 hands or 1 hand on him. That's what you have to do. Slow him down, slow down his momentum, and disrupt the timing. As we know, between offense, receivers, quarterbacks, it's all about timing. So if you can disrupt the route, absorb some of his momentum, you'll get on top, slow him down, and just put yourself in a better position to run the route for him, and the ball will come to you. Get hands on if you can, close the distance, make a play. Now if the receiver isn't within your frame, you don't have to get hands on. Just sprint, keep your eyes on his hip, stare and sprint to him, close the distance. He's looking back for the ball, you're staring at his hip, so you could travel faster and close that distance. As they say, you don't run a fast 40 looking backwards, which is why when you focus on the receiver, you could close the distance, put yourself in the best position. So have eye discipline. If you can, he's in your frame. Disrupt the route, disrupt the timing, get hands on the receiver. So tip number 3 is to never give up and always finish the play. With double moves, it's pretty hard for quarterbacks to gauge timing when the receiver stops and then starts running again. And most of the times, they have to either slow down or come back for the ball. This is why you should never give up on a double move, even if you're beat by 5 yards. Now, a couple other tips here. If you got the same route ran on you a couple times in a row, expect a double move coming off of it. If we look at this clip, let's say this receiver just ran 2 comeback routes, corner's in a position to jump it because he knows, or he thinks he knows what's coming. That's when you have to be a bit skeptical and expect a double move. Receivers are taught to run routes throughout the game to set you up. For example, if the receiver does 3 slants in a row, then the next play he might do a sluggo, which is a slant and go to set you up. So if you get a few routes in a row, just be cautious and expect a double move. Now a tip that could be very helpful but hard to notice sometimes is if the receiver has his eyes on you, then you could expect a double move that he's going to break again. Now his eyes might not be staring at you, but normally they still see you in the peripherals to get a gauge of where you are and if they should cut under or keep moving forwards to go in front of you. So if he's not looking back for the ball, which is the main takeaway, if he's not looking back for the ball, then you could expect a double move. Now sometimes receivers already put double moves on tape, so if they run kind of a sloppy wheel route, they just go on an angle, that's when you could expect a triple move and expect, for example, a wheel comeback to the sideline. This one's really just about film study and knowing what they have in their playbook. And by that, I just mean if he runs a double move, but you feel like it was really easy to cover, really easy to get on top of. If he runs a fake comeback, runs forward, then another comeback, that's just meant to be cautious of that triple move coming. So here, receiver runs vertical and slants out, cuts up to a wheel. It was pretty easy to read. He didn't have a hard out route. So this would just be one of the times to expect a comeback. Now, in this case, he's right at the sideline, so it wouldn't happen. But just be cautious. If you're ever finding it very easy to cover a route, expect something else. So last tip for this video to cover double move, just when to expect it. If there's extra protection, you see running back or fullback in the box helping to block for the quarterback, that buys up time, and double moves take time. So that could be a signal. Obviously you have to study your offense and know what to expect based on personnel. But if you see extra protection, someone adds into the box, a receiver adds in to block, then that's just a signal that they want more time to throw the ball if they're throwing it. So you can expect a double move. Then also, second and long cases, third and long, obvious passing situations, that's when you could expect a double move because they're looking to gain a big chunk of ground and they're just going to throw one up. So again, this would be the best clip to show how to play a double move. The top tips: eye discipline, keep the eye on the receiver until he takes more than 3 steps. Make contact if you can, if not, just run and get vertical. And then never give up because the ball is usually underthrown or not thrown as well as it would be if it wasn't a double move. And also, if they just ran a couple of the same routes, expect a double move coming off of it. And if they have extra protection, then you could expect that they're either going deep, throwing a double move because they're adding people in to gain time.